Hello, friends. There comes a time in life when words lose their meaning, when silence speaks louder than anything you could ever say. Silence is not weakness, it is wisdom in motion. It is the armor of the strong, the sanctuary of the wise, and the weapon of those who understand that not every battle deserves a response. There are moments when your silence will protect your peace more than your words ever could, and knowing when to stay quiet is the art of mastering yourself. Be silent when you're angry, because anger makes you speak what your heart doesn't mean and your soul will later regret. In anger, the tongue becomes a weapon sharper than any blade. People remember the words you say in rage long after you've forgotten them. The wise hold back, breathe, and wait. Silence in anger is not surrender, it's self-control. When you choose silence in the heat of fury, you win the war within yourself. Be silent when you don't have all the facts. The truth has a way of revealing itself, but words once spoken can't be taken back. So many relationships, reputations, and lives are destroyed by opinions built on half-truths. When you're unsure, remain still. Let time do the talking. Silence in confusion is the mark of maturity. It's how you keep your dignity while others lose theirs chasing rumors. Be silent when others are gossiping. The moment you join in tearing someone down, you become smaller yourself. Silence here is power. It refuses to feed the fire of negativity. Walk away, rise above, and let your silence make a statement that your voice is too valuable to be wasted on destruction. Be silent when you're being criticized unfairly. The insecure seek to provoke you. They want your reaction to validate their importance. But when you meet insult with silence, you rob them of power. Silence doesn't mean you agree. It means you choose peace over pettiness. Your calmness in chaos says more about you than any argument ever could. Be silent when you're tempted to boast. True confidence doesn't scream, it whispers through action. Those who constantly talk about their greatness are often trying to convince themselves. The strong don't need to announce, they just show up and let results speak. Silence in achievement is grace, and grace never shouts. Be silent when words can't heal. Sometimes no explanation, no advice, no comfort can fix what someone is feeling. Just being present in silence can heal more than empty words. Because silence carries understanding where speech often carries noise. And finally, be silent when your heart is at war with your mind. In those moments of inner conflict, when emotion battles reason, speak less and listen more. To your soul, to your intuition, to the whisper of peace that only silence can reveal. The answers you seek are often found not in noise, but in stillness. Silence is not absence, it's presence in its purest form. It's the power to rise above chaos, to listen instead of react, to understand instead of assume. In a world that glorifies loudness, the one who controls their tongue is the one who controls their destiny. Remember this. Your silence is not your weakness. It is your shield, your strength, and sometimes your loudest roar. Silence in moments of anger is one of the greatest tests of strength a person can face. When someone provokes you, when your heart burns and your pride wants to lash out, it takes more courage to remain silent than to shout back. Anger blinds judgment. It makes your tongue move faster than your mind. In that heated instant, every word feels justified, every insult feels earned. But once spoken, those words can't be erased. They cut deep not just into others, but into your own peace. Many relationships have been broken, many friendships destroyed, and many regrets born out of things said in the heat of the moment. Silence, however, gives you a moment to breathe. It creates space between impulse and reaction, between emotion and wisdom. It allows your heart to cool before your mouth can ignite damage. When you stay silent in anger, you protect your dignity. People expect you to lose control, to react, to fight back, because anger is contagious. But when you don't give them that satisfaction, when you simply breathe, walk away, or remain calm, you show a power that words can never display. That silence confuses those who seek to bring you down because it shows that you are not controlled by emotion. You are controlled by discipline. It's a sign of emotional intelligence, the ability to feel the fire inside you but not let it burn you or anyone else. Silence in anger doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to understand that revenge and rage never bring peace. In silence, you gain perspective. You begin to see the situation for what it truly is, not what your emotions are making it seem. You notice that sometimes people want to drag you into arguments just to lower you to their level. By staying silent, you deny them that victory. You maintain your energy, your composure, and your focus. There's strength in not reacting because reaction gives power away. Silence keeps that power within you. It transforms the moment from one of chaos into one of control. When the storm passes and you've said nothing you regret, you realize that silence wasn't weakness. It was mastery. Silence when you don't have all the facts is a reflection of true intelligence and humility. Too often, people rush to speak, to judge, or to share opinions before they even understand the full story. They hear one side, see one angle, or catch one moment out of context and immediately form conclusions. But truth is like a puzzle. Missing one piece can change the entire picture. Speaking without full knowledge doesn't make you sound wise, it exposes your impatience. Silence, on the other hand, shows that you value truth over noise. It means you're mature enough to wait, observe, and think before making a statement that might later be proven wrong. When you choose silence in uncertainty, you protect not only your credibility, but also your peace. Once words leave your mouth, they can't be taken back. They travel, twist, and multiply. A single comment made in haste can turn into a storm of misunderstanding, damaging reputations, relationships, and trust. Many conflicts are born from people speaking too soon and knowing too little. The wise stay quiet until they have clarity. They listen more than they speak, and by doing so, they see what others miss. Silence gives you time to gather truth while impulsive words scatter it. Remaining silent when you're unsure also keeps your conscience clean. You don't have to apologize later for spreading misinformation or hurting someone unintentionally. In a world that thrives on instant opinions, the power of silence becomes even more valuable. Social media, gossip, and casual talk tempt people to react quickly. But reacting without understanding is the fastest way to lose respect. The person who can hold their tongue until they know the truth commands authority without even trying. Sometimes silence doesn't just protect you. It protects others. There are moments when staying quiet allows time to reveal what words could destroy. Truth has its own timing. It doesn't need your voice to defend it. It will surface on its own. When you're silent in confusion, you're not avoiding the truth. You're allowing it to unfold naturally. You become a person of integrity, someone whose words are trusted because they are never careless. In a world full of noise, silence becomes the rare language of wisdom. Silence when others are gossiping is one of the purest forms of strength and self-respect. Gossip might seem harmless at first. A casual conversation, a whispered story, a shared opinion, but beneath it lies poison. When you engage in gossip, you lend your voice to destruction. You tear down someone who isn't there to defend themselves, and you lower your own spirit in the process. But when you choose silence, when you refuse to join in, you rise above the noise of negativity. Your silence says what words cannot, that your character is built on integrity, not insecurity. People gossip for many reasons: jealousy, boredom, or the desire to feel superior. They feed on the weaknesses of others because it distracts them from facing their own flaws. But the one who stays silent refuses to be part of that cycle. Silence here is not avoidance, it's resistance. It's saying, I won't use someone's pain for entertainment. When you stay quiet while others gossip, you protect your soul from the dirt they're throwing. You show that you understand a timeless truth. Those who talk behind others' backs will one day talk behind yours. Silence keeps you safe from becoming both the speaker and the victim. Remaining silent doesn't mean you agree with what's being said. It means you respect the power of words too much to misuse them. Silence draws a boundary. It tells people that your conversations are sacred, that your mouth is not a weapon but a place of honor. And that kind of restraint earns respect, even from those who gossip. Deep down, people recognize strength in silence. They see that you cannot be provoked or manipulated into tearing others down. Choosing silence in the face of gossip also brings peace. The more you engage in negative talk, the heavier your heart becomes. But silence keeps your spirit light and clean. It allows you to walk away knowing you didn't add darkness to the world. Gossip ends where wise people choose not to participate. So, your silence becomes a shield. It protects your character, guards your energy, and reminds everyone that strength isn't found in speaking loudly about others, but in quietly rising above them. Silence in the face of unfair criticism is one of the hardest but most powerful forms of self-control. When people attack you, misunderstand you, or spread lies about you, every part of your being wants to fight back, to defend your name, to prove them wrong. But reacting only feeds their fire. Those who criticize unfairly are often not seeking truth. They seek reaction. They want to see you lose your calm because your anger validates their insecurity. Silence, however, starves their ego. When you refuse to respond, you show that your peace is worth more than their opinion. You prove that you don't owe explanations to those committed to misunderstanding you. Remaining silent when criticized doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've learned that not every battle is worth fighting. Words lose their power when ignored. The more you try to justify yourself to people who have already decided to see you negatively, the deeper you fall into their trap. Silence, on the other hand, keeps your dignity intact. It gives time the opportunity to expose lies and reveal truth. Sometimes silence is the loudest answer. It says, I know who I am, and nothing you say can change that. In a world obsessed with defending its image, staying silent is an act of rebellion. It means you don't need validation to feel worthy. You've reached a place where your character speaks louder than rumors ever could. Silence allows your actions to do the talking. Over time, consistency defeats criticism. People might doubt your words, but they can't deny your results. Furthermore, silence brings peace to your heart. Engaging in endless arguments drains your energy and distracts you from your purpose. The person who keeps responding to every insult becomes enslaved to the opinions of others, but the one who stays silent remains free. Silence is not a retreat, it's a redirection. It means you've chosen growth over conflict, maturity over reaction. And when you look back, you'll realize that silence didn't make you lose anything valuable. It protected everything that truly mattered: your respect, your calm, and your focus. Sometimes the greatest victory is simply walking away without a word, letting your silence echo louder than their noise ever could. Silence when you are tempted to boast is a mark of true humility and inner confidence. In a world where everyone wants to be seen, praised, and recognized, the ability to stay quiet about your achievements shows strength beyond measure. It means you are secure enough in who you are that you don't need validation to feel valuable. Those who constantly talk about what they've done, what they own, or how great they are, often reveal not confidence but insecurity. The louder the bragging, the deeper the emptiness behind it. Silence, however, speaks volumes. It shows that your worth doesn't depend on the applause of others. When you remain silent about your accomplishments, you allow your actions to do the talking. Success that doesn't need to be announced is the most powerful kind. People notice, even if you never say a word. The quiet achiever earns respect because they focus on growth, not glory. They don't waste time telling the world how far they've come. They keep moving forward, letting their consistency be their proof. Silence protects your progress because it removes the need to prove yourself. It turns your journey into something sacred, something between you, your effort, and your purpose. Bragging not only dilutes your achievements, but also invites unnecessary envy and competition. The moment you start announcing your every success, you give others a reason to measure themselves against you. But when you stay silent, you remain unpredictable, mysterious, and focused. People can't attack what they don't know. Silence becomes your armor. It guards your blessings and keeps your next move protected. There's a quiet grace in humility. You don't have to tell people how great you are when greatness can be felt through your energy, your work, and your discipline. The strongest people don't boast because they know that true power doesn't scream at whispers. They understand that success loses its purity when it's used for attention. Silence preserves that purity. It keeps your spirit grounded even when the world applauds you. So, when you achieve something remarkable, resist the urge to shout it from the rooftops. Instead, stay silent, stay humble, and let your results echo in the minds of those who once doubted you. In a world that glorifies noise, true power belongs to those who master silence. The strength to hold your tongue in anger, to wait when truth is unclear, to rise above gossip, and to ignore unfair criticism. These are not small acts. They are the marks of discipline, wisdom, and inner peace. Each moment of silence is a victory over ego, over impulse, over the need to prove yourself. It's the quiet rebellion of the strong who know that reaction is temporary, but control is eternal. When you choose silence, you're not backing down. You're leveling up. You're saying, I no longer waste my energy on battles that don't build me. You begin to realize that silence is not emptiness, it's focus. It's the calm before your greatest moves, the strength that keeps you steady when everything around you tries to shake your peace. Silence doesn't make you invisible. It makes you unshakable. So from this day forward, learn to pause before you speak. Breathe before you react, and walk away before you break your own peace for people who don't deserve it. Let your silence become your language of power, your shield of wisdom, your statement of strength.